but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
I seen the best of them, Jando. When they find a life in the cancer, never met a man that they can't talk.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. First down throw for Brissett, and incomplete to open things up. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and now it's second down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Perry. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Over the middle, complete. It's Perry. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. After the interception, here's Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. 2nd and 10 now. Ryan looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Perry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart. Because
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
That's pulled in at the 32. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here now come the Falcons. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Here we go. 190. 190. Hut. Hut.
Brissett on 1st down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
22.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this one is incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Brissett now on 2nd down. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 24. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And he's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. And a nice gain at 21 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38. Hey, motion backfield.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They start the drive with Cook. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And a 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 3rd down, Brissett. It's caught by Treadwell. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he gets it down to the 32. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Here we go! White 90! White 90!
Again, this is Cook. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! White 90!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
handoff comes to Cook. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Ohio! Ohio! Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio! Shift!
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
On second down, Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Let's go!
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They go play action here on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Come on, let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Here's Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Ryan to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give them 35 yards there on the third down conversion. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. 1:59 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Tuesday.
2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Gun.
To throw again is Ryan. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And Bryant's kick is good. And their lead will swell up to 28. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now out comes Minnesota. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if something like that.
Stephon Diggs, 30, 20, touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Hey, Tuesday. Hey, let's go. Hey, Tuesday.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
On 1st down, Ryan. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Throwing again, Ryan. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Hey, we got 3 down.
Ohio! Ohio!
Watch the edge.
Flex round! Flex round!
Check, go back. We got motion. Back up.
Flex round! Flex round!
First down, Brissett. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go!
They run the counter with Cook. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ryan toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Left! Ready to go!
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Brissett to throw on first. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now Cook. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's go! Brad 38!
From the gun, here's Brissett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Taking it about the 16. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
11.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lynch. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They give him a gain of 38. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Hey, Tuesday.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Wait!
They'll run here with Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Check 25! Check! Wait! 54, south!
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
This has not been a banner game for the defense, not in any shape or form, but I love what they're doing right now. My admiration for them really is jumping up. What a great stand defensively, trying their best to keep them out of the end zone.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Brissett. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Brissett. And my goodness, another interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little.
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Left. Space, space. Hey. 12. Gun. On.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Freeman. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Here we go. White 90. White 90. Hey.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Again, it's Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go. White 90. White 90. Check.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Freeman with a fat touchdown. Falcons. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Let's go.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are out in the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Shreds the tackle. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield? I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. And room there to work it inside the 25. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And a short gain here down to the 22. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And Bryant's kick is good. Now they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Let's go!
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Taken in at the 22. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. So out come the Falcons now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, In the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Falcons on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Ryan wants to throw it. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Caught left side, Hopkins. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Ready, back 25. Hey. 4 down. He's coming. Hey, express. He's coming, double up.
Ryan will throw again. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Again, Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do